The Galaxy S24 Ultra is the it phone. It honestly, if you're thinking about if you should buy this phone or if you shouldn't, look, just buy it, okay? Trust me, you're going to love it. As many of you know, the S24 Ultra has gotten the much-awaited February update last month, which made the phone more stable with AI features, and of course, it updated the camera as well. Now, I don't really care about the AI features all that much because really they're only free up until the end of this year, and really you're not using AI 24/7. What you are using is the actual phone, the operating system, the battery life, the cameras, how comfortable is the phone to use on a day-to-day basis, and that's kind of what this video is about. So how has the S24 Ultra treated me after that February update? Did the camera get better? Did it get worse? How's the battery life? Did that get better? Did that get worse? Well, let's talk about it. But first, you guys should know that Samsung is still running insane deals on the S24 Ultra. You can get up to $750 of trade-in or even up to $1,200, I believe. I don't know how long those are going to last for, so if you guys want, I'll have a link down below that'll take you straight there. So I recently went on a trip to Florida, not only to visit my family, but also to go to Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. And, I was thinking to myself, I always bring two phones with me everywhere I go. I always bring one iPhone, and I always bring one Android phone. And out of the many Android phones that I have, I chose the S24 Ultra. And the reason why is very simple. The S24 Ultra may not be perfect in one key area, but it is really good in all key areas. When you go on vacation, what do you need most in your phone? Well, for me, there are a few things which also kind of translate directly into day-to-day life and not just going on vacation. The first is a really good camera system, and the second is a overall comfortable phone, and the third, of course, is battery life. So let's go ahead and start with the first, a really good camera system. The S24 Ultra is literally like the phone to use if you're planning on taking a ton of photos because, during my trip, I also took my iPhone 15 Pro Max with me, and as you can see, the difference between these two photos are quite staggering. Keep in mind, this is Universal Studios where everything is very colorful. If you've ever been there, there's not a single boring color in sight. Everything is very colorful. It was nice and sunny outside. And comparing those two photos, well, the S24 Ultra clearly did the better job at representing the scene. It kept the nice and sunny mood of the environment, it showed the colors true to life, and it even has more detail than the photo from the iPhone 15 Pro Max by a lot. After I took that photo, I pretty much exclusively used my S24 Ultra to take photos, and my favorite one might just be this one here. It just looks so incredible, and it captures the vibe just perfectly. There isn't a single photo that I took from the S24 Ultra that looked bad or bland. No matter what I took a photo of, it just came out looking amazing, especially with those zoom shots to help reach those areas that are pretty far away while also retaining as much detail as possible. Universal Studios might just be one of the hardest places I've ever taken photos at, and by that I mean there are a lot of key areas that a phone needs to get right. You have exposure, you have keeping the crazy colors in check, you have the very harsh Florida sunlight, and the many different reflections. I always said in my previous videos, even from the S22 Ultra and the S23 Ultra, every time I go on vacation and I plan on taking a ton of photos, the Galaxy is always going to be my best choice, and the S24 Ultra keeps that tradition. Samsung absolutely nailed it. And if you guys are enjoying the video so far, I would really appreciate you clicking that like button. It's free for you, but it helps me and the channel out a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. So let's talk about the second key point, comfort. Well, as you know, comfort is kind of a big umbrella term. There's physical comfort, which the S24 Ultra has with its flat screen and flat back, making it really comfortable to hold, but there's also other areas of comfort such as the screen and heat management. I mean, seriously, by a show of hands, how many of you have, ever used your phone and then you're like, oh wow, it's getting really uncomfortably hot? Yeah, well, that kind of falls into the umbrella of comfort. And talking about the screen, since it was crazy sunny outside, I really appreciated the fact that the S24 Ultra has that anti-reflective display. There's nothing more annoying than going on vacation on a very hot and bright sunny day. You try taking a photo and then you click on the gallery to take a look at the photo, and then all you see is just this. You're trying to squint away the reflection so you can actually see the photo you just took. That problem just does not exist on the S24 Ultra. Anytime I took a photo or video and I looked back on it, I only saw the photo or video. You still get reflections, of course. It's, you know, it's glass after all, but the reflections are very dark. They're very muted. You don't really see them as like on the glossy display of the iPhone, for example. Heat management is also very important for a phone. Not only does heat actually drain the battery faster, just like very cold weather does, as you guys may know if you live up north, but also heat dims the display, and the improved vapor chamber on the S24 Ultra definitely worked like an absolute champion. Like I said, it was really sunny outside. It was around 84, 85 degrees Fahrenheit. By the way, Celsius, boom, there you go. So it was pretty toasty outside. And after taking so many photos and videos on the S24 Ultra, uploading them to the cloud on Google Photos, or even uploading them to Twitter, to Instagram, the phone barely got warm. Like, I didn't even really need to think about it. It just stayed at a very comfortable temperature throughout the entire day. And by the way, I was there from 9 a.m. whenever the park opens till 7 p.m. when the park closes. So basically like the entire day. There was not a single issue that I ran into. The phone just stayed cool throughout the entire day, which is the exact opposite of my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Like, no joke, my iPhone basically lived in my pocket. Like, I only took it out to look at the map of the park, to take a couple photos just as a comparison, a few FaceTime calls, Apple Pay, you know, just very basic things. And my iPhone was burning up. I don't know why. Like, I restarted it multiple times thinking maybe like there's a rogue app in the background that's taking up the battery. Maybe something's wrong with the cellular connection. I restarted it. It just still kept burning up. In fact, it got so hot that the screen actually started dimming on itself, which is like the opposite of what you want, because the iPhone obviously does not have that anti-reflective layer. This is why I don't really care about specs. This is why I don't really care about numbers on paper, because like the iPhone 15 Pro Max has a really respectable 2000 nits of brightness. I mean, when it gets bright, it gets very bright. But what does that matter if it just starts to dim from being too hot because it doesn't have proper cooling? Like, it makes it completely useless at that point. And like I said, heat directly translates to battery life. The hotter your phone is, the worse battery you're going to get. That's just that's a fact. You just cannot dispute that. So that being said, even though I barely used my iPhone, like it's so funny that I cannot not smile or laugh. You know what I mean? I barely used my iPhone, and towards the end of the day, when we were leaving the park at 7 p.m., the iPhone was at 13 or 15% of battery life. The S24 Ultra was around 35% battery life, even though I used my S24 Ultra way much more, like so much more, and using heavy tasks. Like I said, uploading videos and gigabytes of videos and photos to the cloud, using a ton of cellular connection, and it just still had way much more battery life. Way more battery life. See, I'm getting a little too excited. I'm starting to lose my English. I feel like the S24 Ultra, or really Samsung, is the company that not only gives you specs on paper, but they also back it up, because the S24 Ultra has that really large vapor chamber to help keep the phone cool. So yeah, whenever you use the phone outside, very hot, not only is it crazy bright, 2700 nits of brightness, which is bonkers, but it also backs it up by actually keeping the phone cool with that vapor chamber, allowing you to actually see that 2700 nits of brightness. And of course, that anti-reflective display is just, dude, it's next level. Like, I do not want to use a phone without that anti-reflective display. I hope all phones in the future have that, because it actually enhances the way you use your phone. You don't have to squint like this to try and see the photos you've taken, you know? And that's so annoying. Oh my god. Overall, I'm super happy I took my S24 Ultra with me. The update definitely helped a lot with the camera. It didn't make the battery life worse. In fact, I think it made it better. I mean, I don't really use the same apps every single day for the same amount of time, so it's kind of hard to tell. But all I know is it never died on me throughout the day, and I really abused the phone, especially with the sun, the crazy high temperatures. For me, it's high, okay? I know you guys like maybe live in Brazil where it gets 100 outside, but for me, 85 is pretty toasty, okay? So yeah, I'm really happy I took the phone with me on this vacation, and yeah, it never once let me down. And again, if you guys want, don't forget those deals that Samsung has going on. I don't know how long they're going to last for, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, I don't know, but I'll have a link down below. So if you guys did enjoy today's video, definitely click that like button. If you have any questions on the Galaxy S24 Ultra, don't be afraid, leave me your comments down below. I don't bite that hard. And if you guys are new here and like these kind of no BS style reviews, I just talk my own opinion, no one pays me, subscribe. And that's it. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.